Real quick. Let me bust this down. Hey man, I want to give a shout out to all the brothers who out here with their boots on the grind. In one form or another, you doing the work, bro. I want to give a shout out to y'all, bro. All the IUIC, any other camps, bro, that's out there teaching, man, that's out there doing it the right way. Because I know our camps is not bad. And I got a couple of things I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I just want to give all the camps who out here doing the real work and all the brothers who not even in camps who doing the real work. My kinfolk, Malak Israel, shout out to all them brothers, man, that's doing the work behind the scenes. They putting their brick in behind the scenes. They might not be teaching online or whatever. Y'all might not just know them, whatever, however it go. They doing the work on the ground, bro. They got their boots on the ground. Shout out to all them brothers, man. The reason I say that is because this is war, bro. We at war. Real talk. We at war, my name. It's a war for your salvation. Them people is playing survival, bro. You know how you watch the TV show Survivor? And all them people's doing all those crazy things on the beach, on the island, or whatever they was at, trying to survive. They are the real survivors in today's time. They are surviving off your ignorance. That's why the jails is full, because off your ignorance, they can make money as DAs, judges, just like Bishop said, judges, COs, warden, lawyers, the whole federal court system, the whole court system, bro. They can make money, or they making money, or they thrive off your ignorance. Think about the people that's in the jail system right now, blacks and Hispanics, right? Primarily. We know there's other races or nationalities in there, but I'm talking about who primarily or predominantly fill up the prison system is our people. Is our people. And off your ignorance, them people is rich. Them people is rich. It's no different when I posted the video about how much money the Jewish man made off our people during the time of Christmas. This is war, bro. Think about all the things God told you not to do. Birthdays, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, etc., etc., etc. All those things he told you not to follow, right? Start from January. Think about this. A lot of our people is in poverty. They live below the poverty rate. They live below the poverty rate, right? Now let's take a shoebox and put it on your bed. Start from January. Think about all the holidays that you celebrate in a year's time. Every time you about to celebrate a holiday that God say don't celebrate, by the way, you take that money that you was gonna spend and you put it in that shoebox. We're gonna start from January. So January 1st, which is the what y'all call the New Year, which is ain't the New Year, but y'all call it the New Year. Y'all go out and buy firecrackers and everything y'all do on December 31st to go out and have fun and celebrate the New Year. Y'all take all that money and put it in a shoebox. And then when Valentine's Day come, or every birthday that you know that your mama gonna have, you gonna have, your homeboy, your homegirl, every time you get ready to celebrate somebody's birthday or celebrate your birthday or any holiday throughout that year, you take that money and put it in a shoebox. And you look through the whole year. By the time December come, you wouldn't have a financial issue. This ain't magic, bro. Y'all talking about blessings that you got from God, and you don't understand that you don't get blessings from God unless you follow the law that he gave you. That's the only time he bless you. So if you ain't following the laws of God, that blessing you got came from the devil. This is war, man, and the enemy of God. He know that, bro. He know the devil can bless you too. Y'all forgot about that, boy? When he took Christ to the highest mountain, or he took Yahweh to the highest mountain, he told him, I give you the world if you bow down to me. That's what you did in America. When you bow down to America, and your Sunday pastors and all the laws and infrastructure that they put in place, you bow down to that, you really bowing down to Caesar. You bowing down to the enemy of God, bro. You're bowing down to him, and that's why you are winning or being sustained in this land. In this land, bro. They gonna hate the man who rebuked them at the gate. You seen what happened with the people who followed the Messiah, how they was living, bro. You seen how they was living? How was Matthew living before he got down with Christ? How was he living? He was rich, bro. How was Paul living before he got down with Christ? He was rich, bro. Them people sat in the high seat of the land. So if you follow Caesar, you gonna do well on this land. You gonna do well in this earth. You gonna do well, bro. You gonna do good. That's why all your celebrities doing good. That's exactly how it is in this land. Them people gonna do well. Yeah, they gonna go get their line up. They gonna cut their beard. They gonna look like a smooth-faced Egyptian. They gonna have their suit on. That is Caesar, homie. That is Caesar. If the world tells you that's clean cut and shaven, no, bro, that's Caesar. You don't look nothing like the Messiah. You at war, my nigga. This is war. This is war, bro. This is war. That's why I gave a shout out to these brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? My brother Malak woke me up. My kinfolk woke me up. They the ones who woke me up, and then they turned me on to Bishop now. So I've been watching ever since. You understand what I'm saying? I'm so grateful that them brothers brought me into the understanding, bro. I was lost out here, thinking I know everything or got all the game because I last this long or I lived this long. Man, I ain't know nothing. The Bible say he make wise out of the simple. Let's say that again. The Bible say he make wise. He made something wise. That means he made you wise out of the simple. It say I make wise out of the simple. That means you were simple and he made you wise when you got this understanding of the Bible. So if you ain't got this understanding, the scriptures say you simple still. I'm so glad, bro. He woke me up, because a lot of people gonna deny this understanding because they own understanding or thinking this my interpretation or this the wrong interpretation because they never heard this before. They never heard this before. They don't understand that these pastors done went to the white man seminary school. A lot of them, they don't have no understanding of that, bro. So they following the laws of Christianity, thinking that they don't have to do no works and have faith only. Thinking that they got a personal relationship with God when it don't work like that. You can't get to God unless you go through the Father. Through the Son. It's an order. God, Christ, man, woman. How did you go around all them people and get to God himself? It don't work like that, bro. Nobody talk to God. Nobody talk to him, bro. His talking is, he don't talk to people. This is war, bro. God do not talk to people, bro. His talking is in the Bible. He got 80 books of talking, bro. What is he gonna say something else for? He already said what he said. That's why I say, thus said the Lord. 80 books of talking, but he gonna talk to you. No, bro, when he come talk to you, he coming to kill you. If he ever got to come talk to you personally, like you say you got a personal, he ever got to come talk to you personally, he gonna kill you, bro. He gonna kill you. Ain't no talking. His only talking is scripture. He got 80 books of that. 80 books. This is war, bro. And people got that mindset from Christianity. Who gave it to their mama and daddy? Who gave it to them? That's the mindset they got. Ain't nobody ever gave them this type of understanding. It's foreign to them. It's foreign to them. That's why I have a following. And everybody else who teach this Bible the correct way, that's why they got a following, bro. It's pastors who don't have a following like this, and they've been teaching way longer than we've been teaching. They don't have a following, bro. If you was doing your job, I wouldn't have a following. It's like, when they come to me, they like, dang, I ain't never heard that before. Or dang, that makes sense. Or dang, wow, now I get it. Or this, and that. They saying stuff like that because you never gave them the understanding. For a prime example, when I tell people they can't celebrate their birthday, they wouldn't get mad at me if you was doing your job and teaching them that since they was a child. If they'd have been learning since a child, you can't celebrate your birthday because it's pagan. If they'd have been learning that as a child, growing up from their mamas, their daddies, the pastor who taught them, they'd have knew that or learned that coming up. When I told them at 40 years old, they wouldn't feel no type of way. 40 years old, 50 years old, they feel some type of way when I tell them they can't celebrate their birthday because you ain't do your job. They growed up 49 years, bro. They lived the earth 49 years and you never told them this. Now they 50 and I'm telling them this. They never heard this before. So if they'd have been hearing this since a child, 49 years ago, their whole life, by the time I tell them, it'll be redundant. It'll be something that they've been hearing for the longest. No, they never heard this. Just like when they come, that's why I got a following, because they never heard this. That means you never did your job. You never did. I'm gonna give you another example. Watch this. Them people don't watch. And shout out to Bishop Shoutout and all the bishops, all the elders, Bishop Kanai, Bishop Nathaniel, all the brothers that teaching, all the elders, all the deacons. Shout out to all them people. Watch this. Bishop Shoutout brought out something like maybe 2 weeks ago. Watch this, bro. Say, man, them people don't watch the 10 Commandments 10,000 times, right? They did not catch on to this. All right, watch this. First of all, when Moses went to tell the Pharaoh, let the people go, he had to show the Pharaoh the power of the God of Israel. Because the Pharaoh and them, they didn't subscribe to the God that we subscribe to, or the God of the Bible. They didn't subscribe to that God. Why all of a sudden that if they didn't subscribe to that God, why all of a sudden now he the God of everybody? They didn't even know who that God was. Pharaoh was their God. That's who their God was, Ramsey. But that's another story. But when he was in there, God showed him a couple of miracles for him to let the people go. First, he threw the staff down and it turned to a snake, right? Then it was a part they skipped. It was 2 or 3 things that he did in the movie. to show him his power. But the one thing that they left out was in the Bible that's written in scripture is when Moses stuck his hand in his garment and it came out to another color. Now, they didn't show you that part in the movie for a reason, because they know they would have had to show you that them people, them Egyptians, was black people, bro. They was black people. Them was Africans, bro. Now, I'm gonna show you another part. I'm gonna put it all together. Now, when the African people came in and they was in front of the Pharaoh, they had a relationship with them people. Now, in the movie, they had Charleston Heston and those white people as Egyptians. And the Africans that they was down with, they had a relationship with, they was black. They had them people as black. Now, color don't supposed to matter, bro. How when you made the movie, you put these people as Egyptians, as white people, and those African people as black people, when color don't matter? How did you come up with that color? How did you come up with that depiction? Who said, okay, we're gonna make these African people black and these Egyptian people white, when Egyptians are African?
Just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African.
When Egyptians are Africans, so how is the Egyptian man, Charleston Heston and all them people, how is they depicted as white people, and the real Africans that they was dealing with, which were Canaanites, which are really Africans, they got that right. They got them as black people. No, bro, that's wrong. Them brothers. That's why they had a relationship in the movie. Them is brothers. Them people supposed to be black just like the Africans were supposed to be black. It's the same exact thing. That's 1 and 2 is this, bro. So you really telling me white people was in Egypt and built those temples when we know white people don't agree with the sun? It wasn't no suntan lotion back then, bro. It was no suntan lotion back then. They can't even stand in the sun now. They can't stand in the sun. So you telling me in America, so you telling me they was out there in Egypt in the desert making temples, building the temples. That's what they was doing, because they got them people depicted as white for a reason. For a reason, bro. For a reason. That's why they didn't show the part about Moses sticking his hand in his garment. They showed every other part when he went to the Pharaoh to tell them people let him go. They didn't show that part though. Why? Because you would have to have a color change. When he how could he stick his hand in his garment on the TV show as a white man and his hand came out white in the Bible? In the Bible, when he did that, he stuck his hand in his garment and it changed colors to white. So that means it was another color before he stuck his hand in there. That's why when he put his hand back in there, it went back to his original color, which was black, just like the African man was that was standing next to him in the movie. That's a lie, bro. We at war. It's a reason that they ain't teach you that, bro. It's a reason, and I blame the pastors too, bro, because them people are sorry, man. Them people sorry. It's sad, bro. Either you don't have the understanding or you down with the play. I really haven't figured it out yet. Like, there's no way you can go to church for 40 years and only read them Galatians 3 and 22, Galatians 3 and 28, John 3:16, Amos 3 and 21. It's no way you can go to church and just get out reading them people maybe 8, 9 scriptures for their whole life for 40 years. That's all they know, bro. The 23rd Psalms and stuff like that. It's no way you can do that, bro. If I was them people, I'd be like, dang, I go to church every Sunday. How you can filter through that Bible like that? How you can go back and bring out scripture like that without even looking at the book? And when I have to bring out a scripture, I have to give you 10 minutes to go look for a scripture when I'm trying to prove my point. This is people in Christianity. When they trying to bring, you sitting there waiting on them to bring out a scripture, you know they don't understand, and you already know what they finna say. You already know they finna go to Galatians. You already know they finna go to Ephesians. You already know they finna go to Romans. So you already know where they finna go, and it's sad, bro. You gotta sit there and wait for them to look for the scripture that you know they finna say. You already know the scripture they finna say. You gotta wait for them. And then when they show it to you, you know they don't know what that means. You just shaking your head like, dang. Now I got to break this down, and they not patient enough to go back to the old covenant to get the understanding of that really mean, the context of what that really mean. But in reverse, they will flip that on you. When you read them a scripture, you might jump to Acts 13:23, and they ain't never seen that before, and they be like, that ain't what that mean. You got to read the context. That's the excuse that they try to jump to when they see something they never saw. They never saw this scripture before in their whole life. Them Galatians 3 and 22, Acts 3 and 21, John 3:16. He never read them these type of scriptures. Hebrews 8 and 8, Jeremiah 31:31, Joel 2 and 27. He never read them type of scriptures. So when you show it to them, the first thing they say, oh, that's out of context. How, my nigga? How? You ain't even seen that before. You don't know what that means. You think Israel is the land. You think that's the land when we say Israel. You don't know that's Jacob's 12 sons. You don't know none of that, bro. It's called we is at war. And it's a reason that they not teaching you the real understanding of what it say. Like Bishop say, so they can have you running around here immoral. You could be running around here immoral. And let me throw this in here real quick. Watch this. Say, bro, when it say Greek nor Jew, think about that, bro. Greek nor Jew. That lets you know that Greek people was running around during the Bible. And who are Greeks? White folks. That means it was white folks doing the Bible, bro. It say Greek nor Jew. So that means Greeks was around during that time. Those are white folks, bro. But they telling you color don't matter. They're telling you color don't matter, bro. These people had colors in the Bible. Now we know it was Greeks running around. Now you need to know that you was in slavery to Greeks during Greek captivity. Now you need to know that. Jews was enslaved to Greeks. So when it say Greek nor Jew, you don't understand that the Jews that were in slavery to Greeks during the time of Grecian captivity had to take on Greek customs. So as a Jew, it's a Jew nor Greek. So as a Jew, when you was under slaves to Greeks, when you was a slave to the Greeks, you couldn't say you was a Jew no more. You had to say you was a Greek. You had to start following the customs of the Greek. You couldn't celebrate the Sabbath no more. You couldn't celebrate your holy days no more under Grecian captivity. We is at war. There's a reason he ain't break that down to you. It's a reason he ain't break that down. And as Israel, you got 12 tribes. Judah, Benjamin, and some of Levite, that will be considered Southern Kingdom. Ephraim on down would be considered Northern Kingdom. You have to have the understanding of that. Israel was split down the middle because Northern Kingdom was so bad, the Most High cut them off and say, you know what, y'all Gentiles. So when you get to the Samaritan woman and the Centurion man, those people were part of the Northern Kingdom who God cut out for following the customs of the Gentiles. That's why he cut them off. You understand? But salvation is for the Jews. That's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Salvation is for them. But them other 10 tribes can be grafted in as Israelites who became Gentiles following Gentile customs. So he said, you know what? I still love y'all because y'all came from Jacob. Y'all can be grafted back in. He's not talking about the other Gentiles from other nations, real Gentiles by blood. This is war. It's a reason he never taught you that. It's a reason he never taught you that. It's a reason that he telling you that Christ came, you don't have to follow the law no more. It's a reason he not really breaking that down and telling you the law that he talking about is the sacrificial law. Because you had the moral law, the civil law, the dietary law, the ceremonial law, and the sacrificial law. The sacrificial law is the only thing that's done for it, but you still got to follow these other laws. That's why you still can't steal, kill, commit adultery, etc., etc., etc. Those laws was given by Moses to Israel in the wilderness. How could somebody that wasn't under the old covenant now be under the new covenant? How could that be? The first covenant was made with Israel, with both of them. But you saying that we know the old covenant was with Israel, but under the new covenant, that's for everybody. No, there's no such thing as that. That did not make sense. How could you be part of the new when you wasn't part of the old? Make that make sense. You understand what? It don't work like that. You basically saying that a tiger can now be an alligator. That's basically what you're saying. When they saying grafted in, even the animals is smarter than our people. That's why the scriptures say the ox know his owner, the ass is master's crib, but Israel do not know, my people don't consider. That's why I say that. The ox know his owner. He's smarter than you, bro. He's supposed to be a dumb animal. That's why people say dumb as an ox. How you let him be smart as you? You ain't finna see him try to be with another tribe. You ain't finna see him try to be with another nationality. You is never gonna see the alligator try to be with the lion tribe. You is never gonna see a giraffe trying to be with the alligator tribe. Them people gonna get ate when they go over there trying to hang with them people. Now, bro, just like you getting ate in today's time, all your money is getting ate up. When you get your check, bro, this is war. When you get your check, bro, it's a hole, right? When you get the check, it ain't even a hole when you get it. It's 3/4. This man done took taxes out of his, he done took his cut. So now you at 3/4. Then you gotta pay bills. We already know who that's going to. So after you pay all your bills and you pay your taxes, whatever you have left, enjoy. You enjoy what's left. Whatever's left, that's what you take and go out to the club on Friday and Saturday nights. Whatever he leave you with no real plan for the future, nothing. Whatever he leave you with, bro, that's what you enjoy. Enjoy yourself. You in captivity, bro. You don't even understand that. The other nations don't come get no goods or services from you. You spending all your money with them. All your goods and resources coming from them. You don't have a seat at the UN. Nothing, bro. Nothing. This is war, bro. You don't know nothing about this. Them people hate your guts, bro. Them people hate your guts. You was paying taxes in the Bible. It say, what's rendered unto Caesar, get unto Caesar. And who face was on the money? Caesar's. Who face on the money now? Who face on the money now? You rendering unto Caesar's what's unto Caesar when you pay taxes. That's what you're doing. You still in captivity, bro. How are you paying taxes when he made the whole world for you? You paying the water bill when he made water. The whole world 70-some% water and 20-some% land, but we paying the water bill. Why is that, bro? The whole world is 70-some% water. I don't care how far you go. If you go to Thailand from here, America, Houston, wherever you at, if you go all the way to Thailand, it's still only 20-some% land in the whole entire world. You surrounded by water. Ain't no such thing as Mars. It's water on top of us. It's water on the bottom of us. Ain't no such thing as Mars and none of that. You was lied to. We had water. You was lied to about that. I'm going to show you how you know that without even going to the scripture. Watch this here. Take a globe. Take a globe and look at the globe. What color mostly is the globe? Blue. That let you know it's more water than land on this earth. It's surrounded. All that land that's on the globe is surrounded by what? Blue. That's water. It's water on top of you and water on the bottom of you, bro. Go Google how much of the world is land and how much of the world is water, bro. But you paying a water bill. God made light, but you paying a light bill. Man, that don't make no sense. These people done bottled up air. They done figured out how to bottle up air, oxygen that you breathe, and sell it to you, bro. And sell it to you. They lied about who discovered the land. They didn't discover. How you gonna discover something somebody already was there? Then they turn around and make movies that depict on how they did your forefathers. You don't even catch on. We at war, my nigga. We at war. It's white people who got this understanding. They know who you are. That's why in today's time, they coming up to black people and telling them they want to be their slave. I done had 5 or 10 people come up to me and ask me about this type of stuff. Why the white man coming up to me telling me can I be their slave? Why the African man coming up to me telling me can he be my slave in the New Jerusalem? That means you're not reading. If you don't know that. If you don't know why the white man or the African or the Arab man, these people coming up to you and saying they want to be your slave for the New Jerusalem, if you don't understand why they doing that, that means your pastor has failed you and whoever you listening to, or you not doing enough study. Because you already supposed to know why. We're at war, my nigga. Shalom.